Well, 2020 and Trump's approval rating is up. Let's read this and we'll kind of discuss it on why I think some places that are saying Trump has a uphill battle in 2020 are kind of wrong, in my opinion. But we'll discuss that here in a second. 2020 boost as Trump job approval reaches 3-year high after Soleimani hit. In fact, his approval rating right now is higher than Barack Obama's approval rating was at the same point in his first term. President Trump's approval rating rose sharply days after he commanded strikes on top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani and Iraqi militia leader Mahdi Muhandis in Baghdad. The president's rating rebounded considerably since dropping during the several months that House Democrats investigated his July 25th phone call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Trump notched to a 45.3% approval mark, matching a local high recorded on September 24th, 2019. I am so sorry. I've been talking all day. According to Real Clear Politics, his disapproval rating is down to 52.3% from a high of 58.1% on December 16th, 2017. Which makes sense. I mean, he had just gotten into office. He hasn't really done much, so of course his approval rating is going to be down because people were purely emotional about it. Let's see, 46.8% was Barack Obama, so Trump didn't get above it. He got pretty damn close, 1.2%, 1.3%, 1.5% shy of Barack Obama's approval rating at that time. So I apologize for my misspeak earlier. This graph here is his approval and disapproval rating, so you can see definitely a sharp contrast right here. That date, let's see here, where is the date? Oh, we can't interact with this. We can't interact with this one. This is just a screenshot. But you can definitely see that it had gotten quite a bit of difference here. There's a sharp disapproval rating, so that would be December of 2016. A very sharp disapproval rating here. And then as time goes on, it's getting a little bit closer, 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 until we hit today. So interesting. I don't believe it was as a direct result of the Soleimani attack. I believe it's the economy. Now, on the economy, here is what I'm going to say on gives Trump a big edge. People are saying that his voting base is shrinking, which they are correct. Voting white males in the working industry are retiring and dying off, and they're being replaced by college graduates who are definitely more liberal, more Democrat, much more liberal leaning. But here's the thing. Trump's overall base, the overall pool of voters that Trump has to pull from that kind of look at Trump like, wow, the economy is good, has increased. That would be the moderates and the centrists that are switching over, the ones that can swing votes to Democrat or Republican. We're not talking about the Democratic base. We're not talking about the Republican base. The Democratic base is going to be the Democratic base. The Republican base is going to be the Republican base. But the overall pool of voters, the whole undecided, the centrists, the moderates that can vote either direction, which there's a large amount, and they can definitely swing an election, are kind of more looking towards Trump. So even though he is losing right now some of the workforce, his voting base, his voting pool is getting quite a bit bigger. And that, I believe, is going to give him a huge advantage. And why is his base getting bigger? Well, it's the economy, man. It's the economy. People are secretly saying, oh, Orange Man bad and I hate Trump, I hate Trump, I hate Trump. But when it comes down to it, they're like, you know what? The economy's pretty damn good right now, and I'm doing pretty well. I want this to continue. And so they secretly vote for Trump. And that's what happened in the last election. Everybody was so scared to say that they were going to vote for Trump because they were demonized just for saying that they were going to vote for Trump, that you had a large secret voter base of Trump. And when the poll companies would come around, they'd say, who are you going to vote for? They wouldn't say they were voting for Trump. because they didn't want to get laughed at. They didn't want to get scoffed. They didn't want anybody to know they're voting for Trump, so they secretly voted for Trump. And we have moderates today that are saying, hey, the economy is good. Unemployment is generally good. It did have an uptick just recently, but generally it's been dropping pretty well. It's been very low. Wages are up. Things aren't looking bad from an economic standpoint, which in my opinion gives the Democrats an uphill battle in 2020, because in all the debates they're going to have to shy away from the economy. That doesn't look bad for them. I mean, that doesn't look good for them, because all Trump has to do is bring the discussion back to the economy and keep it in the Americans' head that, yeah, you know, the economy is doing great. And that said, there are reports out there saying that Trump's economy is not good enough. Wow, man. Some people will complain about everything. My dad used to have a phrase, you'd complain if you were hung with a new rope. And some people will. There's a story behind that phrase. Back in the day, you wanted to get hung with a new rope because it wouldn't get hung up on little burrs in the rope, so the job would be done quickly rather than suffocating. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think. I don't believe the uptick in his approval is directly related to the attack. I believe it's just a general idea of the economy is doing well. It really is. No matter which way you slice it, the economy is doing good. People can lie and say it's not doing good enough. Well, what is good enough for these people who say it's not good enough? It's better now than it's been in, 30 years? But let me know what you think. It could be possible because it's of the strike and people are just, American pride tends to go up when we have an event like this. Let me know what your thoughts are. I do believe Trump has a slight advantage in 2020. I really do. And I'm not a Trump supporter. Don't get me wrong. I couldn't care less. I think he's boorish. I think he's rash. I think he's crass. He comes off as, I hate to say it, but like the town drunkard, really. But the economy's up, And so moderates and centrists are looking at that like, And what are the Democrats trying to do? Kill all cows? Okay. Go through this impeachment and never let it die and then stop and put the brakes on and say, well, no, we're not going to go through with it. It just doesn't make it look good as a whole for the Democratic Party. And it sucks because I'm a Democrat. I would love for the Democrats to come back to the middle at some point. If you're politically homeless like me, give this a thumbs up. If not, still give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs down if you hated it. Let me know why. If your opinion differs, let me know why. Because you know what? Your opinion matters and you're an awesome person. I'll see you guys on the next one.